let's just go ahead and get right into the news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Once again, thanks for all the super chats I see coming in. We'll talk about them here in just a minute. But first, it's Jeff Sills with the news. What's happening, buddy?
Oh, just, sitting here collecting news all week long. Got some good stuff for you guys this week.
All right.
To start it off, Benjamin Briere, 35, was recently arrested after flying a drone near the Iranian-Turkmenistan border. He is currently facing charges of spying and propaganda against the system. So he's being held in prison in the city of Mashland. He's in good health, and we will be paying close attention to see what happens to him for apparently flying near or in Iran.
Now, there was a tourist couple that got in trouble maybe 2 years ago for doing the same thing in maybe Iraq. Which is worse to fly in, Iran or Iraq? I'd say Iran, probably.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, the couple, the first couple I think was in Iraq. This was Iran, and this was right there on the border. So whether or not he was actually in their airspace or not is something that isn't clearly defined in a lot of the articles that I've been reading about it. But the fact that the foreign ministry in France is getting involved in this, etc. I mean, this is sort of getting sort of high on the hog, so to speak.
What's his nationality?
He's French.
French, okay.
Yeah.
Because I forget his name, but there's a guy that sends me videos from time to time from Iran, but he's Iranian, I think.
Yeah.
Or he lives there. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't fly near. If you're gonna fly in Iran, don't fly near anything critical.
Yes.
I mean, definitely. Good Lord. Anyway, all right.
All right, so Skydio has signed an agreement with Exxon to increase or improve their platform in lieu or work with law enforcement and emergency agencies. Exxon Air has a brand with a lot of these emergency and police departments, and so this partnership is going to help make Skydio get some more exclusivity. As a reseller with a lot of these different groups. And of course, this is, again, part of that push or that effort for more American drones to be used by the police and the fire departments versus overseas drones.
Exxon, put a tiger in your tank. That's what you said, Exxon, right? Exxon?
Axion.
Oh, Axion. Nah, these headphones. Something.
All right.
All right.
So the Army has gotten into drones, as we've seen in many, many articles, but in Fort Benning, Georgia, they have been working very diligently on coming up with the ability to resupply soldiers at the front using drones. These would be capable of carrying water and ammunition to combat units. And so they've been testing this as part of the Experimental Force, or X4, out of Fort Benning. And so far, from what I've been able to find out, the testing has gone very well. They've been able to fly M240 machine gun rounds, the 249 squat automatic ammunition, the M4A1 carbine.
So these are heavy lifters.
Grenades. Yeah, these are heavy lifters.
It's hard to tell scale from the picture, but they look like they might be able to lift a toddler holding an AK. So what you do is you strap a toddler to the drone,
right,
and then you hand the toddler an AK, and then you fly it over to the location. The toddler drops the AK down.
No.
That's not how it works.
No.
Okay.
So they ran resupply missions, and I think it's a good idea. I would love to see this show up in conflict areas, because the resupply has always been sort of an issue, and having them being able to get this stuff instantaneously is really a good thing,
True,
including the toddler.
Yes, well, everybody knows that toddlers are force multipliers, and they want their mommy. Wouldn't it be cool to see that kind of thing being incorporated into video games? Where
toddlers?
Yes, toddlers in video games. I think toddlers already play video games. Have you seen the video game channels? Have you seen where there's like 11-year-olds and they're like, "Okay, I'll meet you behind the bunker. Okay. It's hilarious. Why is that so funny to me? And then another 11-year-old's like, hey, we got this. We're going to crash him. And they're using all kinds of expletives and like, son of a...
And they've got 4 million subscribers.
Yeah, they got 4 million subscribers. They'll never have to work again or even know the meaning of actual work. Am I jealous? A little bit. Is it hilarious? Hell yeah. All right. Back to you in the newsroom.
All right. Researchers from Agile Robotics and Perception Lab, or ARPL, in New York University have developed a way for drones to control swinging loads. Now, if you've ever taken a drone and attached something to the bottom of it, you know that as the force shifts, then it starts pulling on the drone, and it's difficult sometimes for you to be able to control the swing. So what they've done is they've made a system that estimates the payload location and then will adjust the drone according to the swinging motion to prevent the drone from being unsteady under heavy payloads. And this type of technology, with the fact that they want to do drone deliveries, is, I think, paramount to that, depending
absolutely.
on the kind of weight that they're using.
Because I don't want the drone to crash when I'm getting my tube socks delivered to me by Amazon, which will never happen. But if it ever did happen, I wouldn't want the drone to fall down on someone's head because my tube sock weight shifted and the Amazon drone, that will never happen, came crashing down. Back to you in the newsroom.
Tube socks.
Tube socks. Yep.
Tube
hey, man, I'll pay $50 for tube socks as long as they come in a drone.
Okay.
All right. All right.
I had a completely different worry there, but all right.
Okay.
Dublin recently did a drone light show to bring in the Happy St. Patrick's Day, and it was rather spectacular.
You know, this is impressive, and I've never seen a clustered drone show. I hope to one day. But this is awesome.
Yeah, this particular light show, they had 500 drones. So.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's almost too many drones. They
All
almost
right, so
OD'd.
All right, next, Collier County, their sheriff's department in Florida, recently had a fleeing suspect that they were able to, I guess, catch with the drone. This guy was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill. He had warrants out for him for failure to appear and multiple drug charges. And so instead of them having to look for this guy and put police officers at risk, the helicopter or the drone was able to locate where he was. And then with the assistance of a helicopter, they were able to direct police officers to his location in a way that didn't put them at risk.
Excellent. That's what drones are for, man.
Darn straight.
You're darn straight, man.
All right. So this one's for you, Ken.
Okay.
I just thought about this. Yeah. The Cape Coral Police Department recently had to look for a motorcycle. And I know how much you love motorcycles, but this particular motorcycle they had to look for in Cape Harbor because it was underwater.
Oh.
So they used their underwater drone that they have to search for this missing motorcycle. And the Marine units that were on the scene were able to find the motorcycle and be able to retrieve it as part of the crash investigation.
So this was a stolen motorcycle, or how did it end up in the water?
All I know is that it was a motorcycle that was involved in a crash.
That looks more like a scooter.
I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was stolen. I think it was just a motorcycle that was involved in a crash.
Okay. Wow, that's some crash if you end up under...
Well, and if you look at it, that's a Goldwing or one of the big full dress bikes. That's
it's a Harley Davidson. Yeah, that thing's got reverse on it. Just put it in reverse and back it out. Let it dry. Put a fan on it. It'll be fine. It's a Harley. It's American. America. All right.
He's too busy listening to his stereo. All right. So the FAA and the Choctaw Nation have gotten together to conduct a drone study. This partnership that they're doing is going to investigate moving goods at low altitudes and the impact that it has on the human operators that run the drones. And this is something that they're working with the Choctaw Nation out of Oklahoma to be able to do this. And this is sort of unique. I hadn't seen them do something like this, where they had gotten to it with a specific group. But I'm interested to see what the results are for this. I think it's part of them being able to do drone deliveries in the tribal areas.
Oh, cool.
And so that would be probably something that'd be very useful, especially with the range, to have a lot of flatlands and hills and valleys in those areas that would offer a unique challenge to the drones.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
All right, so we got some footage from an Argentina forest fire. This is out of Argentina. Eyewitness video showed the decimated woodlands and trees out of Las Golondrinas, which is a rural town in Argentina. The fires were very extensive, but what was really impressive is that the fire was extinguished pretty much by the rains that came through the area.
Oh, that's great.
So they put the drones up, and using the thermal imaging of the drones, watched for hot spots to try to prevent a recurrence. But you can see sort of the aftermath and some of the video footage they had from this very intense fire.
How often do you think of South America? How often?
Just when you say the word South America?
Right. You should really think of it more often. You should every time you take a breath, part of that's from the rainforests in South America. And when I see it burning like that, I'm kind of like, ooh. And then I'm like, all right, I get the last bit of oxygen. Yeah.
All right, so next we have the Cognifly project. This is a drone that is an artificially intelligent drone. It uses open source software. It's a quadcopter. It uses the Raspberry Pi Zero and Google's AIY Vision Kit. But what's interesting and fascinating about this drone is that, as smart as it is and as packed with technology that it is under 250 grams.
Even with all the straws glued to it?
Even with all the straws glued to it. Specifically, this was the proof of concept of being able to make a small form platform that had all of the intelligence to avoid objects and fly through tight areas, but have it in a very, very small form, and something that could be 3D printed, very quickly, and be particularly energetic to impacts, where it can be repaired in the field with a very small amount of effort and a small amount of work.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, that is an amazingly cool drone for under 250 grams. I'm really impressed with that. That's some great work.
That is neat.
The force multiplier, yes. So in Washington, the U.S. Air Force is testing whether lasers mounted on the back of dune buggies could be counter-drone weapons.
Laser! I love laser beams. They're so cool. Don't
The
you love
high-energy
lasers?
laser weapon system, or HELWS, uses directed energy to defeat incoming unmanned aerial systems.
Yeah.
And it is small enough and compact enough to fit on this small dune buggy. So
Lasers.
not put on a Humvee, but on something much smaller. They have Raytheon Technologies is working on this with a $23 million contract to make 2 prototypes. And then they're going to grant, if that's successful, another $13 million to create a 3rd prototype as part of the project.
These are really big lasers, and the way they're going to test them is they're going to put the laser in the thing. Then instead of cats, they're going to get lions because they're bigger. It's the bigger lions with the bigger lasers. They're going to shoot them and put them on the wall, and the lions are going to go crazy. Like lion nip. There's catnip, so there's lion nip, right? We got lion nip. It's a laser show. It's going to be awesome. Love the lasers.
Back to you, Tim.
Back to you in the newsroom.
All right. Ken, I know that you love UFOs, and so I decided I was going to throw this into the news. It's not necessarily as much drone-ish as it is wild footage out of the Arizona desert of some people that spotted an alien spaceship.
Okay, all right. Cover the kids' ears, because I call bullshit. It's just a plane, man. It's just a plane.
Christian Noel and Kelly Dees filmed this footage of a black object as large as a truck floating in the skies.
It's a fish.
It's so somebody, those Pepperidge Farm goldfish. They threw one of those in the air. They filmed it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a blimp, but that's just me.
It's a blimp. It's an advertising blimp or something.
Well, where was the Goodyear blimp at that particular time of day?
What are you doing, Kelly? Are you okay? Everything good?
We're humans. We're completely subservient to the needs of dogs.
Oh man.
Yes, the dogs are our masters.
Yeah. That was only unidentified as a flying object because we don't know if it's the Goodyear blimp or the Budweiser blimp.
Yes, couldn't figure out which one it was.
Yep.
All right. Apparently, it's been in the news an awful lot that people are getting their DJI FPV drones. And from the news perspective, I am really tired of reading about people getting their DJI FPV drones. But this one, on the other hand, was absolutely off of left field. So this particular gentleman received his DJI FPV drone, but it was a brick.
Oh, yeah. Check this out. This is heartbreaking.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my box arrived from DJI. It's got yellow tape here, blue tape on the bottom. It's got some sort of a hole right there. The package that's in here does not seem to feel like the right weight.
Oh no.
All right, someone stuffed it with a brick. Look at this. I now have pillow stuffing and a brick in my DJI box. All right. What? This is what I get from DJI.
Yeah, but it's the DJI Brick 5.0 with fun. It's got fun avoidance. That brick has fun avoidance on it at all times, in all directions.
It's got OcuSuck 2.0.
It's got the OcuSuck on it. That sucks so much. Can you imagine?
No, wait, did DJI send it like that? Did somebody steal it in transit? What happened?
Yeah, somebody knew that all these cool quads were coming out. They recognized the box and where it was from. If it says from Shenzhen, it's something pretty neat. So they're like, okay, I could sell that for a hit or whatever, or pawn it. So they're like, put their giant crack rock in there for this dude.
So what does he do? Does he try to get a refund from DJI, or is he SOL?
He'll have to go through the postmaster where he lives and file a report.
Either the shipping company or DJI would be ones that would follow up on that. More than likely, it'd be the courier company.
Yeah, they'll backtrack it and figure out when it happened. But there's a silver lining. He gets to keep the brick, so that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep. Now I bricked my Phantom 3 with a false firmware update. That was fun. So I too got a DJI brick at some point.
How do you get a false firmware update? Bring me up to date on the false firmware update so I don't false firmware update mine.
No, it was a faulty false something or other. They said no. Back when you had to update it by putting SD card in and all this stuff.
Oh.
Back in the olden times, the olden days.
3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because the technology advanced that fast. All right, so next we have a very, happy story out of Digby County. Some rescuers discovered that there was a stray dog that had gotten stranded on the ice. So Nathaniel Denton and his friend Mike Titus headed out with a canoe to help try to recover and save this particular dog.
Look at the doggy. He's just out there being a doggy going, hey, anybody want to help this doggy out? And he's like,
Denton was wearing
woof.
a dry suit that would protect him from the cold waters. And he was able to retrieve the dog, and they were able to get it safely back where it could be fed and looked after, and made sure that it wasn't, suffering from any exposure.
Look at that muffin. All safe and sound that muffin is. Look at him. Oh my God, I love dogs so much. Oh my God. You know, sometimes I get caught in a YouTube vortex where I'm just watching all these, like, this dog was stuck in a tar pit for 3 years, but then he was rescued, you know, and he's all like near death and miserable, and then like cut to 3 years later, he's all fluffy and happy. I love those videos.
And then they all start coming up in your recommendations every day.
Yeah, and then I have to watch them, and then I'm sad for the rest of the day. I'm sad, then inspired, and then I just hug my little Henry.
Oh,
No, yeah. Going back to the
All right. So it's official. FAA has announced the dates for when their new regulations will start taking effect. Now, not all the rules are going to come at once. They're going to be taking a staggered approach that sees completion by September 2023. But the first ones are coming on April 21st, which will be the remote ID and operations over people rules. So the remote ID system requires identification for drones in flight, as well as the location of their control stations and takeoff points, with the caveat that only the police department and legal authorities would be able to get the information as to where the actual person flying the drone is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the operations over people rule applies to the Part 107 pilots, which allows operations based in 4 categories to allow flights over people. This would be being able to fly over people at night, under specific conditions, etc. So it's interesting stuff. I definitely recommend checking out the FAA's website for more details.
Speaking of legislation, our buddy Vic Moss from the Drone Advisory Committee contacted me, and he wanted me to let everybody know about Senator Lee. He's at it again. The dastardly evil Senator Lee trying to destroy our hobby. And I recorded this earlier today with him. Check this out. Vic Moss from the Drone Advisory Committee. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm not good because I heard Senator Lee is trying to destroy us one more time. What's going on?
Well, he's doing something along those lines. Absolutely. He's at it again. Some of you may remember his foray into this area before in 2018, I believe, with Senator Feinstein. But basically what he's trying to do is make it possible for the state, local, and tribal governments to take control of the first 200 feet of the national airspace system. And we all know what would happen if that happened.
No. Well, I know what would happen. It would stop a lot of people from buying new drones. It would
Absolutely.
Stop a lot of people from flying their GPS drones, and it would stop 0 FPV flyers.
Well, yeah, okay, we'll agree to disagree on that. But yeah, we'll stop a lot of people, but that's okay. And it can do things like if a local government has control of the airspace, they can do things like charge you landing fees, charge you per minute in the air, like a Texas bill that we'll talk about next week is currently going on, and it probably won't pass, but still, it's even though it's a Texas bill, it's something Kenji and I are working on right now. We'll get in touch with you about that next week.
Okay, well, what can we do to put the kibosh on this one?
You can go to dspalliance.org, and we actually have a letter in our newsroom. We have a blog that will help you kind of write an email to either your senator if they're on the committee that it's in right now, or just one of the committee chairs. And if we can get this little sucker killed in committee, we don't have to worry about it when it hits the Senate floor. And if it hits the Senate floor, we go all in and all out and do what we can to kill it there.
So can I go to poopogram.com and send that to Senator Lee?
If you can figure out how to do that, that would be awesome. A little smell-o-vision via the internet would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But So our website has an article about how to take care of reaching out to the committee members and or your local senator. My senator here in Colorado is actually on that committee, so I've already reached out to him and waiting to hear back.
Awesome. Well, thank you for always fighting the good fight for us.
You do. You and your listeners do a very nice job of helping us get the word out and get those legislators understanding that they can't do this just willy-nilly.
And I'm not above poopogram.
Poopogram would be okay. Don't sign my name to it.
Right. Anonymous poopograms.
There you go.
All right. So that's some information you need to know. And I will put some links in the description later where you can, what'd you call him? Senator what, Kelly?
Dastardly.
Dastardly. He keeps trying to do this, and he keeps getting shot down in committee. So I think we've got a new sponsor for whenever Senator Lee is on.
The next 23 minutes and 14 seconds of this program are being brought to you by a proud sponsor of for over 10 years running.
Now back to you in the newsroom.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. That's a great thing to follow. Yeah. All right. All right. So, Bram Can't pronounce his last name. He's the CEO of Pax, an indoor drone solution. These guys are making drones that are specifically designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to target and kill insects that are harmful to plants. By basically using the wonderful capabilities of the blades of a drone.
This is awesome. Check this out. What a great idea. What a great idea.
Nature solves insect overpopulation by slowly evolving natural predators. Using this as an inspiration and enabled by recent advancements in drone technology, Bats developed an artificial predator that intercepts moths mid-air. Just like nature, we built them fast and small. So small that they're safe around humans. And so fast, even cats look surprised. Our system monitors and controls moth populations in greenhouses. Plagues are kept in check while the ecological balance is sustained. The drones never sleep and are always ready for action. They'll stay inside so that we don't impact the natural environment. The autonomous Bat system controls pests so that the grower can rest assured. We protect your crops and provide sustainable insect control as a service. Bats. Our drones never sleep.
That's freaking awesome, man. Isn't that great? I mean,
Now, Ken absolutely hates insects. He hates flying bugs.
I do.
Once on my front porch, he got stung by a wasp, and I thought I was going to have to cradle him in my arms and rock him to sleep to calm him down.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Oh, I was traumatized. But isn't it when you go fly your drone in the peak of summer and you bring it back, especially like a Phantom or something with white propellers, and you see all these bug guts on it, you're like, ugh. But these guys are like, bug guts? Let's make a business out of it. They should have like a high-speed camera on all that. Just I watch a moth be pureed by a little tiny whoop or something. Head, wing. I love it. Love it. All right.
I'd love to have like a Pat system on the back porch sitting there flying around getting all the mosquitoes. That'd be great.
Yeah. Instead of the bug zapper. Now, if you're the last time I had a bug zapper was I was in Texas, and apparently in Texas, having a bug zapper is a thing, and just kind of gathering around the bug zapper, like the fire hearth, to tell stories, and then you're like, oh, here comes one, and then everybody's quiet. People love that. I love it. It was fun.
Then the smell, though, the smell is just so nasty when they get zapped.
Yeah, cooked skeeter ain't fun to smell for sure.
All right. So the next story is out of Kazakhstan. A Aktau resident, Nurkin Tazbahai, on March 9th.
I'm sorry, who was that again?
Nurkin Tazbahai.
Sure.
Got it.
All right.
Couldn't pronounce the other guy's name, but this one I got.
You got it.
So this guy was able to get out and using a small drone was able to film a huge group of pink flamingos.
Yeah. This is a lot of flocking birds right here, man.
Wow.
Flocking. Hey, look at that. Would you fly a drone anywhere near that?
You mean flamingos are a real thing? I thought it was just like a plastic yard ornament.
Yeah, they're real, but boy, the job that the state has for the people that have to go out and paint the birds, I mean,
yeah,
because they're white naturally, but they go out and spray paint them a couple times a year. They start turning white again. They're out there spray painting them again.
Well, the lake is a natural habitat for them with 175 species of different waterfowl. But these birds come in there as part of their mating season, and they stop by every year in spring and autumn. So But that's a lot of pink flamingos. There's a bunch of people in Florida right now going, hey, I know where I can get me some pink flamingos.
That is cool, man. That is awesome.
Yes, it is.
It is. And that is a lot of, what do you call those things?
Oh, it's a lot of flamingos right there, man.
Yeah, but they're a certain kind of animal with the, and they, what kind of animal is that there, Jeff? People in the chat know what kind of.
It's a
lot of. It's a huge flock of
birds. It's birds.
Yes, it is. Come on, Dottie.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird's a well, well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird. But bird's a well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird. But bird's a well, don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody's talking about the bird. Well, a bird, bird. But bird's a well,
Second verse, same as the first.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird.
Yeah.
Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. What a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word.
All right. Jeff, you okay, bud?
I love Dottie.
Dottie's freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fabulous stuff.
Oh, hold
so-
on. This just in. Do you remember my ex-wife? Danielle?
Vaguely. I think so. Yeah.
Well, she just sent. She's watching right now. She's in Pittsburgh, and she's watching, and she just sent this video just for the news. This is from her office in Phoenix, on the back porch. These are some owls feeding. This is from her security camera in Phoenix, Arizona. So there's one owl.
Oh.
So she's in Pittsburgh.
She's
and
in
her
Pittsburgh right
security
now.
Camera picked up these owls
Right.
at her residence in Arizona.
Yeah, and you see the one up top there. The one up top's about to come down and share some food with the one on the bottom. Here it comes. Oh, look at that. Sharing is caring. He's like, give me that. Isn't that cool?
No way. I got to ask a question.
See every day, yeah.
If that had been from some ordinary average viewer, Joe Schlub, would you have played it, or did you only play it because it's from your super hot ex-wife, Danielle?
That one.
Okay.
Yes. And by the way, there's no more of that video. That's Owl She Wrote. And what kind of creature? What kind of creature were those? Were those winged things there, Jeff?
Twice.
What kind? What kind were they?
Birds. They're birds.
Hell yeah, they were. Johnny!
You know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is the weather, where the bird. The bird's the weather, where the bird. The bird's the weather, where the bird. The bird's the weather, where the bird. Bird is the weather, where the bird. The bird's the weather, where the bird.
What you doing there, buddy?
Gallagher.
Oh, guys. Okay. Now back
right.
to the newsroom.
So last week we blew everybody's socks off by sharing with them an FPV video where they went inside of a bowling alley.
Yes.
And that has made the news all over the place. I have seen it everywhere. It blew everybody's socks off.
Yes,
But
yes. It's awesome.
just so happens that same pilot gave us this wonderful gem.
And who is that pilot?
The pilot's name?
Larry Bird.
Yeah. Jay Christensen out of Raleigh Studios.
Okay.
Oh.
Enjoy this. The sound design is particularly awesome. And this is part of his series of trying to get everybody to go out and go bowling and get back in the movies and doing all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
How long's it been since you've been to a movie?
Oh, it's been so long. I think last movie I saw was Toy Story 2. And there have been 11 of them? There's been like 11 or 12 of those, isn't there?
Yeah.
Back when Toy Story was in black and white.
You name it, I've seen it.
This is really amazing. How many times did they have to practice this, Jeff?
It doesn't identify in the articles that I've read how many times it took for them to actually make this, but in most cases, I would imagine that they probably had a couple of run-throughs. The simple fact of the timing for this as he passed by people and having certain activities going. Tells me that there's an awful lot of coordination that
Oh, sure. You got to get a bunch of people that can, hey, you want to come in and ignore the drone that's going to fly right by your head? Sure. Yeah, I'll be part of this. You know?
Sign here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then
I love how he ties it in so that you can loop it.
you can
Looks
loop
like
it
they've
around.
got
again.
got a typical COVID crowd there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for movie theaters because.
Oh, it's brutalized them. It's just killed them. And all these other companies are streaming the new movies, and that seems like it's catching on big time. So are they ever going to come back in full force, you know?
Yeah, and you would think that drive-in movies would have a resurgence because you could take your own little COVID pod and not have to, interact with people. But I guess that's not the case.
No, I will challenge that. The drive-in theater that is near my house, the Showboat Theater that I have a video on my channel for, they are doing a killer business.
Oh, good.
Weekend. Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that.
Is packed.
I love drive-in theaters. If you've never been to a drive-in, if you're like, say, a millennial and don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, Google it. Find one near you.
I want to go out there and get some footage of them once they have, when the cars are coming in and getting set up. I'd love to do some orbits around that place and capture that place where it had a lot more activity in it.
Yeah. Awesome. Jeff, well, thank you so much. You're the
Always
best.
a pleasure, sir.
And we love you, my friend.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.